1959, 9 experienced hikers went into the frozen mountains of Russia. They set up camp for the night. By morning, their tent was cut open from the inside. They had run into the snow barefoot, and none of them survived. Pause. What scared them so badly that they chose the freezing darkness over the safety of their tent? This is the Dyatlov Pass mystery. It was winter, deep in the Ural Mountains. 9 young hikers were on a long ski expedition. They were experienced, strong, prepared for extreme cold. They set up their tent on a snowy slope. It was late. The wind was strong. The temperature dropped far below freezing. Sometime during the night, something happened, because what investigators found later made no sense. When rescuers finally reached the campsite, the tent was still standing, but it had been slashed open from the inside, not torn, not damaged by wind, cut. The hikers didn't use the entrance. They cut their way out, and then they ran, barefoot. Some wore only socks, some had no shoes at all, some were barely dressed. Outside the tent, footprints were found in the snow. They walked, not ran, down the slope toward the forest, calmly. But why leave in the freezing night without coats? About a mile away, under a tree line, rescuers found the first 2 bodies. They had tried to make a small fire. Their hands were burned, their skin torn, like they had climbed the tree in panic. A few more bodies were found between the tree and the tent, as if they were trying to crawl back. The last 4 were discovered weeks later, buried under snow in a small ravine. Their injuries were worse: crushed ribs, severe internal damage, but almost no external wounds, like they had been hit by something incredibly powerful. But there were no signs of a struggle, no signs of another group, no clear footprints except theirs. And then there were strange clues. Some clothing showed unusual traces. Some bodies were missing soft tissue. One had no tongue. Officials eventually ruled it an accident, but they couldn't explain what caused it. No avalanche evidence, no clear attack, no logical reason for them to flee. Just 9 experienced hikers who ran from something into certain death. Over the years, 3 main theories have survived. The first, an avalanche. Maybe snow shifted suddenly. Maybe they panicked, but the slope wasn't steep enough and the tent wasn't buried. The second theory, military testing. Some believe secret weapons were tested nearby. Strange lights were reported in the sky that night, and there were unusual clues found later. But there's no official proof and no confirmed military activity at that exact location. The third theory, something not natural. Some believe they saw something in the forest, something that made 9 trained hikers flee into deadly cold without hesitation. The crushed injuries, the missing tongue, the strange atmosphere of the scene. It all feels wrong. Pause. As if they weren't running from snow. They were running from something alive. More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass remains one of the world's most disturbing unsolved mysteries. 9 people, 1 frozen mountain, and a question no one can answer. What made them cut their way out and run into the darkness? Pause. What do you think happened that night? Tell me your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy late night mysteries, subscribe to the 3 a.m. archive, because some stories are better heard at 3 a.m.